Is there anything else I can help you with?
You swore an oath to the Constitution, right?
What's that?
You swore an oath to the Constitution?
Yep.
What's the First Amendment?
The First Amendment?
That's right.
The freedom of speech.
What's the 5 elements to it?
5 elements to it?
That's right. That's 5.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean by the elements.
You're a sergeant, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what the Fifth Amendment is, right? You swore the same oath to that one too, right?
Yep. So, are you just here to quiz me, or
You know what the Fifth Amendment is before?
Yeah. So, but I'm just asking: is there anything else that I can do for you, or?
I mean, if you're a public servant, I need you to kind of know what the Constitution is.
Yes, I understand the Constitution. I'm just asking.
Oh, it doesn't sound like it. What's the Fifth Amendment?
What can I help you with?
What's the Fifth Amendment?
I'm not going through and getting quizzed on every single amendment.
I mean, you swore an oath to it. That's a major part of the job. You achieved the role of sergeant.
I understand.
I'll give you a hint. You Miranda this to people when you arrest them. It's probably the first thing you say.
I understand. I know.
You have the right to.
Yes, I understand.
So then, what would the Fifth Amendment be? You say this. You have the right to remain self-incrimination. I mean, if you swear an oath to the Constitution, you know what it is, right? Doesn't sound like it. All right, but thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys looking into my issue there. I have family who died serving in our military, fighting for the oath that you're wondering why I'm challenging you on, why I'm quizzing you on. 'Cause I know people who died defending that oath that you don't know what it is. You achieved sergeant not knowing it. You're a sergeant, right?
Yes, sir.
What's up, everybody? It's Danny from the Constitution State here today. I hope everybody's having a good day. We're just going to bang this out real quick. So I think everybody knows who these two clowns are and what department they work for. This is Bedard the Tard and D'Angelo from the town of Groton Police Department in Connecticut, who got a call last week to a state trooper's house, a state trooper that works at state police headquarters in Middletown, who has a desk job, who decided to spit in a citizen's face and chase him down with a gun because he went and knocked on his door to ask him why he got so much overtime on a 9-to-5 job, why he's racking up $70,000, $80,000 a year in overtime on a 9-to-5 job. And these idiots here ended up charging the guy that did nothing wrong and let the criminal off. And now we're paying state troopers, 1 cruiser, 2 cruisers, to babysit this scared little state trooper's house that nobody even wants to go to. But as we know, Fahey doesn't just like to steal money. He likes to waste as much of the public's money as he can. And there's even more to that, like how state troopers won't come into a town with town cops if you call them for anything, but they'll go babysit this retard's house in the town of Groton. And the video I put with this shows just how stupid this manager Bedard is. He doesn't even know what the First Amendment is. So no surprise he doesn't know how to read a statute or know what breach of peace is or criminal trespass. So the first little clip I'm going to show is his interaction with Long Island. And Bedard saying he couldn't find spitting anywhere in the statute. And then it goes from that to they were all breaching peace. Long Island says, okay, arrest us all. They just arrest them too. They don't arrest the scumbag cop. It's your fault. And the second clip is Corruption Exposed, Eyes on 5. This is Anthony's channel. And Anthony asks Bedard, while he's there, what the First Amendment is. Bedard knows 1 out of the 5 elements. He had no idea there was more than 1 element, or elements even existed in the First Amendment. So this is when he was hired. He was hired in 2017, which means he's only been a cop for a few years. So here he was awarded Officer of the Year for 2023. So still only been a cop for a few years, right? But then in the post, they talk about what a great officer he is. He received this award because he demonstrated maturity and leadership. He's proven to be one of our most well-rounded, dedicated, multifaceted officers, always willing to help out and always with a positive attitude. He demonstrates maturity beyond his years and constantly undertakes efforts to make our community safer. I didn't see that when he kept telling Anthony that he wasn't going to answer his question. He knows what the Constitution is, but he's not going to answer the Fifth Amendment. Doesn't seem very mature, doesn't seem very well-faceted, doesn't seem very smart if you don't know the basics of your job. And I didn't see any of these things when he dealt with Long Island either. Devin has worked hard to make himself and those around him better officers. Talks about his background. He serves as background investigator and field training officer. Is that why everybody under him is dumber? And this speaks volumes. How does somebody who doesn't even know what the First Amendment is, what the Fifth Amendment is, what the Constitution is, what breach of peace is, what criminal trespass is, even with the answers right in front of your face, how does that make him make anyone else better? How does that make him better? How does that make him good in the first place? Sergeant Bedard is a decorated veteran officer. No, he's not. He's barely been a cop a few years. Apparently, to be a veteran officer, you just have to do more than a year these days. And a bunch of nonsense medals he's gotten for doing his job. Real hero, right? And I will have a little bit more at the end.
Hey, sir, how are you? So is there any updates on, because obviously I want to press charges for him spitting in my face that I showed the sergeant here on camera. So what's going to happen with that?
So we went through the assault statute specifically, and there's nothing that specifically states that spitting on somebody is an assault unless it caused you physical pain. The only thing that assault fits is physical pain. And that's under the exception of if you spit on an officer, then that is when bodily fluids become involved.
So he could spit on me in my face and in my mouth, and that's not against the law?
Circumstances, I'm saying that it doesn't really fit the assault charge.
So what happened if I spit on you?
Well, then you would get arrested because I'm an officer. You can't spit on an officer because in the assault on an officer charge, bodily fluids are included.
So there is no charge. You're telling me, as a sergeant of the Groton Police Department, you're telling me there is no charge for a grown man spitting in another grown man's
telling you
face.
that it doesn't fit assault.
Well, what does it fit? Isn't that your job to find out? What does it fit? Like
At
what
the most,
what crime
fit
it
a
is?
breach of peace, but you're on his property. You interacted. You engaged the interaction. I mean,
So if it's a breach of peace, arrest him for a breach of peace.
well, that's the other issue that we're going down right now. Is you guys are also in violation of a breach of peace,
No.
as well as.
I mean, take us
voyeurism.
both then. Take us both then. It's not
So-
voyeurism. It's not voyeurism to knock on somebody's door. That's not.
It is if he
it's
has
not.
a reasonable expectation of privacy and you invade on his curtilage
No,
and you're recording.
you're wrong.
him-
But do it. Then I will gladly go take the ride. Arrest us both for a breach
All
of
right,
peace.
well, then turn around for me.
Do what you got to do, man. Do what you got to do. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous.
I'll hold that for you. 1, 2.
He didn't even do anything. He didn't even do anything. He was just recording.
Yep.
I
And
guess-
that's why you're getting arrested as well, because you're both reporting on this private property, initiating this, which caused a giant scene.
Because he spit in my face. Are you going to take him to jail?
We're gonna deal with that after we deal with this.
I don't care, man.
Good?
This is ridiculous.
What would you? Obviously, we're going to bring these at your property. Do you want us to lock up your truck and obviously make sure so nobody steals it?
So, just to be clear, you just want to see the status of your crash report.
And Farnsworth clarified it. I
Okay.
appreciate that. So it looks like 20 seconds. So it looks like there's due diligence.
Okay. So if you want a copy of that report, you can come back during regular business hours when our records department is open Monday through Friday. You can request the report through them, and then they can help you out with that. Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else that I can help you with?
You swore an oath to the Constitution, right?
What's that?
You swore an oath to the Constitution?
Yep.
What's the First Amendment?
The First Amendment,
That's right.
the freedom of speech.
What's the 5 elements to it?
5 elements to it.
That's right. That's 5.
I'm not sure exactly what you mean by the elements.
Oh, you got freedom of speech.
Yep.
That's one element. You swore an oath to it, right?
Yep. I just don't know what you mean by the elements of it.
Well, freedom of speech would also cover the right of religion, right?
Mhm.
But you have the freedom from religion. Well, now those are 2 elements. There's 3 remaining elements.
So are you talking about like the right to say whatever you want, wherever you want, pretty much as long as it doesn't arise to threatening anything in that manner?
Yeah. That sounds more like Congress shall make no law abridging speech, but there's still 3 other elements. You're a sergeant, right?
Yes, sir.
That would be freedom of press, right to petition the government, redress of grievances without retaliation, and the right to demonstrate.
Yep, that's all.
You know what the 5th Amendment is, right? You swore the same oath to that one too, right?
Yep. So are you just here to quiz me, or
You know what the 5th Amendment is before?
Yeah. So, but I'm just asking, is there anything else that I can do for you, or?
I mean, if you're a public servant, I need you to kind of know what the Constitution is. That's an
understand
important
that.
document to me. So the 5th Amendment, I won't challenge. I won't after that. But do you have an idea what the 5th Amendment is?
Yes, I understand the Constitution. I'm just asking,
Well, it doesn't sound like it. What's the 5th Amendment?
what can I help you with?
What's the 5th Amendment?
I'm not going through and getting quizzed on every single amendment.
I mean, you swore an oath to it. That's a major part of the job. You achieved the role of sergeant.
I understand.
I'll give you a hint. You Miranda this to people when you arrest them. It's probably the first thing you say.
I understand. I know.
You have the right to.
Yes, I understand.
So
I'm
then,
just
what
saying,
would the Fifth Amendment be? You say this. You have the right to remain self-incrimination. I mean, if you swear an oath to the Constitution, you know what it is, right? Doesn't sound like it. All right, but thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys looking into my issue there. I have family who died serving in our military, fighting for the oath that you're wondering why I'm challenging you on, why I'm quizzing you on. 'Cause I know people who died defending that oath that you don't know what it is. You achieved sergeant not knowing it. It's kind of disappointing, man. But be that it as it is. Thank you. Have a good one.
What does everybody think about Mr. Bedard? Bedard the Tard? Do they think he's a well-rounded, well-faceted officer, rising up everybody around him and himself, making everybody better? Because I don't. It seems like the PD just made up a bunch of stuff and put it on a piece of paper and pretended it was true. Let's use some common sense. The breach of peace statute right here, it's pretty clear. I mean, if you're smart enough to apply constitutional rights to it, it makes sense. But what I keep seeing here is that it must happen in public. What's weird is citizens like me without 2 months of training can pick that out. All these other people that don't have a month or two of training can get this, but they can't. Not only that, but you can't be charged for someone else's actions, someone else's response. Not only that, nothing he did was threatening, tumultuous, or violent. There were no threats. So I don't really know what he was arrested for, because when you look under our breach of peace statute on the Connecticut website, it clearly says the only way you can be arrested for speech is if your speech rises to above fighting words. Because then it would be a violation of your rights if they did arrest you for your speech that didn't get that far. But they don't know that. Or how about criminal trespass? A person is guilty of criminal trespass in the first degree when, knowing that such person is not licensed or privileged to do so, such person enters or remains in a building or on any premises after an order to leave or not to enter personally communicated to such person by the owner of the premises or authorized persons. So it clearly says you actually have to be asked to leave and then choose to stay, which never happened. So he can't be that great of an officer. If he can't read these very basic things and understand how to apply them, he's doing nothing but A, hurting the community, B, opening the community up to multiple lawsuits. But again, they don't care because this doesn't come out of their pockets. They don't have to know their job. That's why they're all idiots, because no matter what happens, they don't get in trouble. He didn't even know this. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution prevents Congress from making laws respecting an establishment of religion, prohibiting the free exercise of religion, or abridging the freedom of speech, the freedom of press, the freedom of assembly, or the right to petition. He had no idea. And I would guarantee there are other videos out there of this guy, because usually when cops are this stupid, they make mistake after mistake after mistake. Instead of going, wow, I don't even know what I'm doing. Maybe I should actually learn my job. But again, they don't, because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they know it. Doesn't matter if they do it. It does not matter. They know they got this corrupt union run by a bunch of piece of shits. They know they got these trash bargaining agreements protecting them. And they know everybody else in the public service industry will protect them, because they're the ones out there on the front line, stealing as much as they can from the public for the rest of them. I thought this was wild, and I thought people would like to see this. So let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one.